The animals were never my motivation for going plant-based. Okay, so that's the difference between veganism and plant-based. And a vegan will tell you this, right? Like you're definitely going to hear it if you decide to go plant-based. If you're doing it for the animals, then you are vegan. If you're doing this for your health, food intolerances, then you are plant-based. Okay, so that's also what I've learned over this year. You don't want to get into an argument with a vegan about that at all, because they will definitely rip your head off. Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Jess here, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about my vegan journey, what it's been like for the past year. Yes, on September 12th, 2016 is when I decided to go vegan or plant-based. That is a whole nother video for another day, and I will definitely get into that because I don't want this video to be 30 minutes long. I decided to go plant-based. For the sake of argument, I will say plant-based today, okay, until I get into that other video. Yeah, so I decided to go plant-based on September 12th, 2016. And I remember it very, very vividly because on September 11th, 2016, a friend and I and her son and my son went to this 9/11 event. We stopped at McAllister's. I had a roast beef. And I remember getting home that night, and it was fire at that moment, right? It was really, really good. And then I got home that night, and I just felt like really, really bad. I just remember saying, something's got to change. Like, you have to change. And I legit wrote a contract with myself stating, like, I'm going raw vegan for 40 days and 40 nights. I even thought I was crazy. I mean, I was just like, what? Are you doing this? What are you doing? But I knew I needed something extreme. I've just always been that way. Even my mom says it to this day. You go from one extreme to the other. That's just the way that I manifest, so to speak. I'm very extreme. So I knew I needed to do something extreme, and that would be 40 days and 40 nights of going raw vegan. And I absolutely loved it. I shared it all around social media with my tribe, with my followers, with my Facebook group, with everyone, my email list, right? Like, I was very vocal about what I was doing. I was just like, I'm doing this 40 days, raw vegan, WTF, let's do this. And I had a lot of people rooting me on, which really helped. I'll definitely say that. I enjoyed it very much. And it was hard. It was very, very hard to eat raw. Like, to go from eating meat to eating raw, it was very, very hard. But I juiced a lot of my vegetables, well, really fruit. Every single morning, I would like juice apples and lemon. I would call lemonade because it tastes just like lemonade. And the weight just started melting off. It was so, so good. So within that 40 days, I lost 25 pounds. Then within a month, well, a month into that, right, 30 days into it, I started to notice I was getting a lot of loose skin. So I decided to start weightlifting. And I fell in love with weightlifting, and I haven't looked back since. But I never thought ever that I'd be lifting weights. Well, now I'm strong as shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never thought I'd be able to deadlift 200 pounds. I never thought I'd be able to squat. I don't know what I squat. I think like 135, 140. And I absolutely, like, I'm just very grateful for this journey because I absolutely love weightlifting, and I'm very, very passionate about health, rainforest, and recycling and reducing waste and all that good stuff. However, it was never enough for me to say, I need to go plant-based or vegan, right? I need to stop eating the animal products. So I very much did do this for my health. I know that spirit or God, the universe, whatever you want to call this energy, was trying to push me in this direction for a very long time because I did go vegan before about a decade ago. I've been vegetarian before. I was vegetarian for a while when I was pregnant with my son. I had been vegetarian prior to that because I remember when I was in about eighth grade, maybe seventh or eighth grade, maybe even high school. This is a very long time ago, before there was even a Netflix. But I remember my friend showed me a documentary of animal slaughter, and I watched it, and I went vegan. Actually, I think I went vegetarian for like a week, and then actually, I think I even had a burger that night. It was just like, even though it was really, really sad to see the animals being slaughtered, the animals were never my motivation for going plant-based. Okay, so that's the difference between veganism and plant-based. and a vegan will tell you this, right? Like you're definitely going to hear it if you decide to go plant-based. If you're doing it for the animals, then you are vegan. If you're doing this for your health, food intolerances, then you are plant-based, okay? So that's also what I've learned over this year. You don't want to get into an argument with a vegan about that at all because they will definitely rip your head off. What else have I learned this year? I definitely have learned that I have to listen to my body. Being plant based is not just about eating plant foods and eating vegan junk foods. And again, I'm going to get into that video another day. I cannot wait because it's going to be good. One thing about being plant based is you definitely, I would say, you listen to your body. You're very aware of your body. So you may indulge in vegan junk food every now and then, right? But the whole thing about being plant based is that you are plant based. You tend to eat more whole foods, right? So when you do indulge in those vegan junk foods, one thing I noticed is that it would definitely mess with my body dysmorphia heavily. Refined sugars, processed foods mess with my body dysmorphia big time to the point where I see myself a lot larger than I am. It also messes with my head, right? Because these are chemicals. And so you may even notice this for yourself is that if you eat a certain food, you're going to feel a certain way. You're going to start thinking a certain way. This is a chemical thing, right? This is actual science. This isn't pseudoscience. So be aware of that. I know I definitely have. Is that if I eat, let's say, some vegan ice cream, right? I'm gonna feel like a raging bee within an hour. I'm going to be moody, you know what I mean? Like I'm just, and that's even if it's vegan. It's not even just about what's going into my system and messing with my intestines. It's even about the psychological part, the chemicals. So that's something I've definitely learned. And one thing I'm really enjoying on this journey is taking things out of my diet that I just know and feel are no longer good for me and then substituting them. So, for instance, I really try to stay away from refined sugars. And when I do eat refined sugars, I kind of catch myself. I'm like, well, why are you eating this? What is the point in eating this? What triggered this? And I realized that it definitely is one of those emotional things, right? I'll be stressed and I'm like, oh, let me grab this just because it's vegan. I'm going to eat it. And so I'm becoming very aware of that and starting to realize, okay, maybe you need a substitute. So one of my substitutes is dates. Instead of doing ice cream, then I'll make some banana ice cream with some dates. And that is just enough to give me the energy that I want, or the satisfaction, rather, that I want. One thing I definitely had suffered from before going plant based was the intestinal issues. Eating animal products was definitely affecting me very heavily intestinally. Intestinally. I just made up a word, y'all. It definitely was affecting my intestines big time to the point where I just couldn't eat, right? Like I would be nauseous if I would eat meat or dairy. And then it'd be like, well, why are you nauseous? That was one thing. I mean, I just knew I had to cut the mess out. I also, and I talked about this in my hacks video, I did not have the energy. So I would go out of the house. I remember from the time my kid was born in 2010 up until last year when I went vegan, if I would go out of the house to run errands, go shopping, etc., even go hang out with a friend, 4 hours was my limit. 4 hours, 3 to 4 hours, I was done. I needed to be back in the house. It was like a handicap. I just would be tapped out. I don't have that problem anymore since I eat whole foods. I just feel like I have so much more energy now, which is really nice. And I'm very, very grateful that I have taken this step, even though it was hard. Being vegan has definitely showed me just how strong I am being plant based. So, yeah, if you are having any of these issues yourself, intestinal issues, your mind's fucking with you, you got the body dysmorphia, you have no energy, go vegan, go plant based. Start eliminating certain foods. And then what will happen is you'll get to the point where you'll realize, holy moly, like, I ate. Let's say you revert back to eating something that has animal products in it. You're going to eat it and you're going to be like, that didn't feel good at all. And you're going to go cold turkey eventually. You're going to do it. So start now. you know. And if you have any questions, definitely you're welcome to message me on social media. DM me, is that what they call it? DM me, girl. You can DM me or anything like that. And then I also have my simple vegan ebook, which is available for purchase. I will leave the link down below. But that is really your first step. It helps you with the mindset of going plant-based, which is so important. It's all about the mindset first. You cannot do this without the right mindset. It's never going to happen. Okay? You have to have the right mindset, and then you can start incorporating the veganism plant-based into it. All right. I love you guys so much. I will definitely try to get on here more often and do more videos for you. I promise. But you know, real life gets real. That's all I'm saying. So I will be back with another video. And yes, I love you so much. Bye.